चेक करायचं
चालू
माझे तर दिसत आहेत छोटं झालं साईज छोटी झाली कारण
त्याला बॅक साईडला काही टाकता नाही लागलं त्याचं हायलाईट होईल स्ट्रीप एक मागे व्हाईट कलरची आणि ब्लॅक कलरची हो त्या स्ट्रीपला व्हाईट कलर ठेवा बॅकग्राऊंडला
स्ट्रीप व्हाईट आणि कलर ब्लॅक
हां कोणतं पण फक्त कॉन्ट्रास्ट दिसलं पाहिजे
ब्लॅक वाईट करा वाईट केलं ना कारण सगळं वाईट आहे ना बाकी
पूर्ण व्हाईट आहे ना
तुम्ही जर ते बॅकग्राऊंड वाईट करत ओके ना एकदा केसन करून कन्फर्म करा त्यांनी फोन केला होता त्यांच्यासोबत सर आहेत ना
आता मगाशी जो आपण स्पेंड केला ना तो ठीक आहे
पहिले टेस्टिंग केलं श्रेयस सरांना तुम्ही सांगाल ना फोटोग्राफर आहे, फोटोग्राफरच्या सरांसोबत कॉल करतो, कारण कसं म्हणलं तरी इथलं कवर नाही झालं बघूया ना कसं. हो फोटोग्राफर त्यांच्यासोबत.
A very good morning and a warm welcome to everyone. I request everyone to take their seats. And I also request all the dignitaries to take their seats on the dais. I request Dr. Siram, Dr. Sri Langeji, Dr. Desai, Dr. Kulkarni, Dr. Chopre, Mr. 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐿𝐴, Dr. Kolte, and Dr. Deshmukh to occupy their seats on the dais. Collaboration is important, not just because it's a better way to learn. The spirit of collaboration is a part of equipping yourself for effectiveness, problem solving, innovation, and lifelong learning in an ever-changing networked economy. And today, should we not commemorate the success of bringing together all like-minded people from the research community? Since alone we can do so little, and together we can do so much, said Helen Keller. Respected dignitaries on the dais, esteemed guest of honor, honorable chief guest, and our beloved director sir, most valued stakeholders, cherished faculty members, and my dear students, a very good morning to everyone. On behalf of our PCCoE family, I welcome you all on the occasion of the 6th International Conference of Computing, Communication, Control and Automation, the 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐂 2022, and the first International Conference on Innovation in Mechanical and Civil Engineering, 𝐈𝐪𝐴𝐶 2022. We at PCCoE are committed to our mission by creating, communicating, preserving and applying knowledge, art and academic values. We foster innovation by creating new ideas and delivering the best possible solutions to real-life problems while guaranteeing their exchange in the research community. And 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂 and 𝐈𝐪𝐴𝐶 is the germination of this ideology. Let me remind you all that 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂 and 𝐈𝐪𝐴𝐶 2022 will be a blended version of the conference. That is, online as well as offline presentations will be incorporated considering the social distancing guidelines.
It's indeed a beautiful morning, also with a delight frame of mind, and to grace this occasion, we have with us Honorable Chief Guest of the event, Dr. Siram Ramakrishnan, National University Singapore, our special invitee, Dr. Anil D. Sahasrabuddhe, Chairman AICTE, Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Padmanabhan, Aarhus University Denmark, Dr. Dang, 𝐂𝐀𝐂 University Vietnam, Dr. Sandeep Patil, 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐄𝐀H University, Germany, Mr. 𝐈𝐧𝐭𝐀𝐂𝐄, IEEE Pune Section Representative, Dr. Girish Desai Sir, Executive Director PCET, Dr. Govind N. Kulkarni, Director PCCoE, Dr. N.B. Chopde, Deputy Director PCCoE, Dr. M.T. Kolte, Conference Chair ICQBR 2022, Dr. P.H. Deshmukh, Conference Chair IMES 2022, and all my colleagues and invitees, I, Praful, once again welcome you all for this international conference. It is believed that any intellectual endeavor should begin with the blessings of Goddess Saraswati. Keeping up to our Indian culture, may I take the honor of requesting all the dignitaries to kindly light the traditional lamp and mark the auspicious beginning of the event.
Wait.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती Dear all, with due permission from you all, we would like to change the pattern of the program slightly. We are highly privileged to have with us today the chairman of AICTE, Dr. Anil D. Sahasrabudhe. Despite his busy schedule, he is available with us now in the online mode. So definitely, he doesn't need any introduction. So without taking much of his time, let us hear it from Dr. Sahasrabudhe. Over to you, sir. Sir, I guess you're not audible. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Inaugurate conferences which are happening today from there. One is on innovations in civil and mechanical engineering. The other is an international conference on computing and control automation. Both are in some way or the other related, although it appears to be two different conferences. Certainly, there are specialized papers which could be presented in both of these conferences separately. There is a direct linkage. Today, we cannot separate disciplines between civil, mechanical, electrical, metallurgy, computer science, electronics, etc. There is huge potential for multidisciplinarity in almost all the types of activities that we do in life. Forget about engineering. There is a linkage of engineering with medicine, with biology on one side, as well as humanities and social sciences, including psychology, including sociology on the other side. And therefore, true nature of knowledge, true nature of whatever we are doing in our lives is going to be fully connected with each other. And that's why in the National Education Policy 2020, very rightly, the policymakers have announced that our universities must be multidisciplinary. There must be scope for disciplines of all nature to be under the umbrella of a university, thereby students get first-hand not only information and knowledge, more important thing is that connections between these disciplines of knowledge. And that's what many times we call connecting the dots. Since the conference is specific, and I know Dr. C. Ramakrishna, Professor of University, former Dean, very well-known figure in engineering domain. Long time he was here in India, but later spent huge amount of time in the academics in Singapore, in US. Along with him, Dr. Sanjeev Padmanabhan, Professor Aarhus University, Denmark, Dr. 𝐿𝐂𝐂𝐄 from 𝐌𝐀𝐂𝐂 University in Vietnam, Dr. Sandeep Patil, group leader, 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐄. They are all there, and many other keynote speakers are also lined up in this particular conference. So my best wishes to all of them. But coming back to the basics, I think when we talk about innovations in civil and mechanical engineering, they cannot be exactly, as I said, specific to civil and mechanical. Many of them have connections. But there can be some hardware, some things which are more specific to that domain. For example, mechanical engineering may be development of new types of machines for machining purpose, or what we call 3D printing purpose. There could be specialized machines, but they do take help of the other domains of knowledge, be it Internet of Things, be it robotics, be it drones, be it even blockchain in many matters. And that's why these connections are becoming stronger and stronger between different disciplines. We also take the example of an automotive department, which used to be a subset of mechanical engineering. Today, many times we say today's car is more a computer on wheels rather than a mechanical object. And therefore, whether it is EVs, which we are talking about, remote controlled cars, or driverless cars, all of these are requiring not only AI, ML, but IoT, different types of sensors, and different types of materials to make them light at the same time become smart. I think therefore smart light materials also come and play a big role. So whether it is automotive or in the space industry, whether it is aircraft or even the satellites which are launched, these are all absolutely multidisciplinary. You may have some focus of some part on mechanical engineering. Similarly, when we come to civil engineering, there are different types of structures. We all know now that earlier a building of 5-story, 10-story used to take quite some time. Now with prefabricated structures and technologies that are available, in 1 year, 5-story building can be completed, including finishing tasks. And that's why, on one side, automation is happening not only in computer science and electronics, but also in mechanical engineering and civil engineering. Same is the case with the building of the roads. We used to take huge amount of time for building even 1 kilometer road. But today, we can lay a cement concrete road or even the tar top road, what we call based on the earlier technology. Within no time, hundreds of kilometers are going to be laid and it's possible. Same is the case with building of the bridges. That each of these things are continuously developing, and that's why innovations, when we are talking in civil or mechanical engineering, they have a strong relationship with electronics and computer science and material science, chemical engineering, as much as with those disciplines themselves. And with that being the case, the eminent experts, starting from Dr. C. Ramakrishna, Dr. Sanjeev, Dr. 𝐿𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐄, and Sandeep Patil, who are going to speak on this occasion, will throw more and more light on all of these aspects. And those who have come as delegates from different parts of the country and internationally, they will present their research work in these domains, and we get enriched in the process, understanding new things that are happening across the globe. And all these faculty members who have come here to yearly attend the conference also will get enriched, and when they go back to their respective institutions, this knowledge that they have gained must be transferred back to their respective students, thereby our innovative spirit at our college levels, university level improves. I am delighted, yesterday only, we started our 5th edition of Smart India Hackathon. This is one of the largest and the biggest open innovation model that we innovated 5 years ago in 2017. And year after year, the number of problem statements from the government departments, from the public, from the small and medium scale industries, from the startups, from the general students also are taken into account, and then they are isolated as in different components and different areas, and then thrown as challenge for students of our country. And more than 2.5 lakh students, a team of 6 each, they form that team and then submit this innovative idea for solving that problem. And then our job of shortlisting becomes so difficult. Out of those 2 lakh divided by 6 teams, we bring them down to about 2,000, and in about 75 centers this time, or every year we have about 50 centers. Without sleeping 36 hours, students solve these problems. Right now, when we started in the morning yesterday at 9 o'clock, yesterday after 12 hours of work, at around 8 to 9 o'clock, Honorable Prime Minister spoke with all of these teams, interacting with them, asking what problem statement they are solving, what more can be done in that, giving them suggestions. I think an absolutely innovative atmosphere is getting generated. State-of-the-art technology is being developed from not just college and university students. Yesterday we were surprised, a class 7 student, a class 10 student, having done extraordinarily good work, whether it is solving dementia problem or for solving the problem of different types of AI and ML technologies, coming from 7th standard, 10th standard, and that is the youth of today. And therefore, there is a big responsibility on faculty members to keep themselves up to date in all frontiers of knowledge. Thereby, when you go to the class, you will talk to your students confidently. And that's why this conference of this nature, where innovations are being talked about, become very, very useful to all of you. All the best wishes for your journey beyond not only this conference, but beyond. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable words. And thank you once again for gracing the event with your valuable presence. Now it's time to felicitate our guest on the dais. To felicitate Dr. Sriram Ramakrishnan, Chief Guest, I would like to invite 𝐿𝐀𝐂𝐿 sir, our guest of honor, to felicitate Dr. Sriram Ramakrishnan. Sir, please. Now, I will further request Dr. 𝐂𝐿𝐀𝐂𝐄, Director PCCoE, to felicitate Sri Narendraji 𝐿𝐿𝐀𝐂𝐂𝐿, our guest of honor, with a bouquet and memento. Thank you, sir. Now I would further request Dr. N.B. Chopde, Deputy Director PCCoE, to felicitate Dr. Girish Desai, sir, Executive Director PCET. Thank you, sir. Now I would like to call upon Dr. 𝐻𝐂𝐂𝐿𝐀𝐂, sir, General Chair 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐵R 2022, to felicitate 𝐈𝐧𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐃, sir, IEEE representative.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. It is rightly said, leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. The man of distinct vision, a fountainhead of illuminating ideas, and an inspiration to all of us is none other than our beloved director, Dr. Govind N. Kulkarni. It's my pleasure now to call upon Sir to set the context of 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐄 and IMA's 2022. So please.
Thank you very much. Dignitaries on the dais, Dr. C. Ramakrishnan, 𝐭𝐂𝐂𝐄𝐀, Narendra Ji Rande, our beloved Executive Director, Dr. 𝐏𝐂𝐂𝐲𝐷𝐿, Dr. 𝐌𝐀𝐂𝐂𝐄, both General Chairs, MT Professor, and Dr. P.A. Deshmukh, and dignitaries, international dignitaries who are occupying the seats, in fact. A very good morning to all. On the present occasion of the conference inauguration, I heartily welcome all Indian as well as international dignitaries and participants arrived enthusiastically in PCCoE for sharing their research work in two conferences. One is International Conference on Innovation in Mechanical and Civil Engineering, IMS 2020, and 6th International Conference on Computing, Communication, Control and Automation, ICCU-BEA 2022. The objectives of these conferences are expose faculty members and students to the competitive world outside, to bring interested researchers on one platform, to exchange ideas of research, explore collaborative work in academics and research, through interactions, strengthen the pool of resource persons, and enhance outreach and perception of the institute. This has been the objective of the conference. With this objective, we started this conference. Pune is a historic city with a pleasant climate around the year, and Pimpri Chinchwad on the banks of Pavna River is equally pleasant as a twin brother of Pune. Pimpri Chinchwad and Pune are auto, software and educational hubs of India. So this is about Pune. You will always feel pleasant when you visit Pune. About my PCCoE. PCCoE was started in 1999 with 1100 intake today and 4,500 students on campus, sir, and 250 faculty members. Today, PCCoE is one of the most preferred engineering colleges in Maharashtra. We are autonomous, sir. We are slowly making our presence felt at the national as well as international level through our students and faculty achievements. We have a vibrant work culture. A vibrant work culture at PCCoE also forms a major contributor in our brand building. We have set a vision of appearing into first 100 engineering institutes of India in coming 5 years. We have 5 undergraduate programs: civil, mechanical, electronics and telecommunication, computer engineering, information technology. These programs, all of these programs are accredited by NBA for 3 years. In line with the guidelines of National Education Policy, NEP 2020, PCCoE has become the first engineering college in the state of Maharashtra to begin an undergraduate program in regional language. So we run BTech Computer in Marathi. This is one more feather in the cap of PCCoE. The program is being successfully run in a blended mode to the satisfaction of the students. Besides academic discipline, collaboration with industries has become our strength. We have 2 DST projects ongoing, worth 65 lakh rupees. One of the projects relates to research on cervical cancer. PCCoE is recognized by Scientific and Industrial Research Organization of DST, Department of Science and Technology. This recognition enabled research funding to us to be 100% tax exempted. We award incentives to our faculty members and students for their publications. Coming to the conference. Under the leadership of our two general chairs, Dr. 𝐭𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐿, General Chair of 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐵A 2022, and Dr. Padmakar Deshmukh, General Chair of IMS 2022, a team of nearly 200 faculty members worked relentlessly to bring the dream of conference organization into reality. I appreciate and acknowledge their motivation and efforts here. Our team of volunteers will always be happy to assist you in the coming 2 days. I express my gratitude to all our sponsors for their timely and generous help. Hope this gesture continues in future. I also thank international resource persons as well as participants for sparing time to visit PCCoE for the conference. Sir, your presence here is a great inspiration for us. Hope our association receives a concrete shape and strengthen in future. I am sure about the outcome of the conference to be mutually beneficial. I invite all the participants to visit our labs in their spare times, see our labs. We are here to introspect, give suggestions, and then have a proposal for collaboration in the coming 2 days. Please feel free to give your valuable feedback for our improvement in the versions of the conferences to come in future. I always end my narration with a Sanskrit shlok, one line. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karvavahe, Tejasvina Vaditamastu, Ma Vidvishavahe. Let us come together. Let us work together. Let us eat together. Let us grow together. If we could not do anything of this, let us at least not hate each other. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. I now request the gentleman leading the 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂 2022, Mr. �MT Head of the Department, Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering, and the Organizing Chair of 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂 2022, to enlighten us about the preparation of the conference and the day's proceedings. So please.
Namaste. Dear honorable guests, respected colleagues, and ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to express my sincere gratitude and welcome all of you to Pimpri Chinchwad Education Trust, Pimpri Chinchwad College of Engineering, Pune, for 6th International Conference on Computing, Communication, Control, and Automation, that is 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂 2022, with a great pleasure. A very good morning to all of you. I extend a hearty welcome to Chief Guest Dr. �ശ്രീ റാംകൃഷ്ണ, National University of Singapore, plenary speakers Dr. 𝐭𝐶𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂, Dr. Hamdam, Dr. Sandeep Patil, keynote speakers Dr. 𝐭𝐶𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂 from IIT Varanasi, Mr. Sanjay Gupta from the Academy in India. I take this opportunity to welcome our technical sponsor, Pimpri Pune Section, Pimpri Signal Processing Society, and delegates, Mr. Girish Khilari, Mr. Pradeep Mane, Dr. Amar Kuchade, Dr. Vivek Deshpande, and Vinayak Bairagi sir, and 𝐻𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂. I also welcome to our platinum sponsor, Academy Engineering, and delegates, Mr. Prasad Shetty sir and Rahul Deshpande. Our technical sponsor from SE Electronics Forum delegates, Mr. Sanjay Nibande and Sandeep Mahajan. I am delighted and honored to welcome all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais and congregation of this brilliant intellect present here. This conference offers an opportunity for global networking to bring together renowned speakers, researchers, academicians around the globe and serves as a platform to deliver innovative research results, related trends and developments, and to initiate the collaboration within and across discipline for the advancement in the closely interlinked domain of computing, communication, control, and automation. In this conference, there are papers from the different walks of science and technology. The activity of this IQA 2022 begins in the month of October 21 with the IEEE Pune section delegates. IEEE kindly consents as a technical partner. The first announcement for the call of papers was till 15th of April. Then second call was till 15th of May. It is our satisfaction that we received 655 papers throughout the India and 6 countries. There were 85 reviewers who ensured the quality of papers and shortlisted 158 papers. We plan 15 tracks such as signal processing, image processing and computer vision, data science and big data analytics, cognitive computing and machine learning, information cyber and network security, various and embedded system, robotics and automation, power electronics, electronics for societal engineering. The reviewers and the track chairs ensure the completion of review process in time. We'll submit this accepted and the presented paper to IEEE conference proceeding, which is indexed by site scopers. It is rightly believed that solid research and its presentation in a precise and credible manner paves way to what leads to pursuit of excellence. This conference will not only showcase the work of the best brain in the room, but also honor their relentless contribution to their respective field. I sincerely hope each one of you will identify the subject of your interest and will benefit from many fruitful and enriching deliberation in the myriad tracks of the conference. I once again welcome and extend my heartfelt wishes to all our esteemed delegates, participants who are committed to make genuine and reliable contribution to the scientific community and congratulate the organizing team for their efforts in creating such a global platform for academicians and the researchers. I hope this 6th International Conference on Computing, Communication, Control and Automation will challenge and inspire you and result in new knowledge, collaboration and friendship. Wish you all have a great time here at this conference over the next 2 days. Thank you and namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir, for your enlightening words. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to hear it from the organizing chair of IMES 2022, Dr. P.A. Deshmukh, who is also heading the Mechanical Engineering Department. I request her to come forward and enlighten us about the preparation of IMES 2022. Sir, please.
Dignitaries on the dais, Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Sriram Ramakrishnan, Professor, National University of Singapore, Sri 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐿𝐴, Representative of IEEE Pune Section, Sri Narendraji Landhe, Representative of Trustees PCET, Honorable Dr. Girish Desai Sir, Executive Director PCET, Honorable Dr. Govind Kulkarni, Director PCCoE, Dr. 𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐄𝐀, Deputy Director PCCoE, my colleague Dr. 𝐼𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐄, General Chair ICPBI, dignitaries of the dais, our plenary speakers, Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Padmanabhan, Professor Aras University Denmark, Dr. 𝐭𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐄 University Vietnam, Dr. Sandeep Patil, RWTH Aachen University Germany, Mr. Nilesh Adkar, Henkel India Private Limited, representatives of our platinum, gold, silver and bronze sponsors, invited directors and principals of sister institutes, media representatives, researchers, authors, attendees, industry representatives, deans, and heads of the department, faculty members, and my beloved UG, PG and PhD students of Pimpri Chinchwad College of Engineering. I wish you all a very good morning and warm welcome on behalf of the organizing team of 𝐈𝐀𝐂𝐄 2022. I am here to give an account of our planning of 𝐈𝐀𝐂𝐄. The 2 years of pandemic were really challenging for all of us in all sense. This has also opened the new doors of opportunities too. After successful organization of 𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐵 consecutively for 5 years, the legacy of organizing international conference in PCCoE experienced a break in last 2 years. Till then, the Department of Mechanical and Civil Engineering were contributing in 𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐵 with a limited scope in the tracks of control and automation only. This year, with an earnest request to our trustees and to our top management, we have come up with a separate domain-specific conference mainly focusing on technology and research domains in mechanical and civil engineering. The journey of organization started exactly 1 year back in September 2021. With kind permission and consent, we named our conference as Innovations in Mechanical and Civil Engineering with a major theme of sustainable development. We decided 9 tracks in mechanical engineering and 5 tracks in civil engineering, covering the major verticals and giving right justification to the interdisciplinary technologies. The objective of 𝐈𝐀𝐂𝐄 2022 is to create an international conglomeration of researchers, academicians, and industrial experts. This forum serves as a platform where people can share information about diverse technological advancements, innovations, and achievements in the areas of mechanical and civil engineering. Further, it would also facilitate discussions that centers on the developments, challenges, and solutions for sustainable development in the field of machine design, manufacturing, thermal and fluid engineering, automation, hydrology, water management, structural engineering, geotechnical, transportation, biomimic, and construction management. To ensure the quality of conference, the Elsewhere Materials Today Proceedings and American Institute of Physics consented and agreed to publish the proceedings of the conference under the heading of 𝐈𝐀𝐂𝐄. We achieved this milestone in December 2021. Right after this, we raised our first call of papers in the form of abstracts and ideas under the banner of 𝐈𝐀𝐂𝐄 on 1st January 2022. We received around 450 plus abstracts and ideas. The local editorial team examined the abstracts and with around 10% rejection, the second call to submit the full-length paper was issued on 15th of February 2022. All the quality checks as per the Scopus publication norms have been followed, such as plagiarism, blind peer review process. The entire process of paper submission was carried on the Microsoft CMT platform so as to have a very transparent, two-fold blind peer review process. As an outcome, the acceptance was conveyed to only 135 research articles which have cleared all hurdles of quality check. Now in these 2 days of conference, there are 24 sessions where the researchers will be presenting their work in front of the team of internal and external session chairs. This joint conference is providing a feast of plenary sessions and keynote speeches of very eminent researchers covering interdisciplinary topics on both the days. 𝐈𝐀𝐂𝐂𝐄, in association with 𝐏𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐴dhesives, the platinum sponsor, has also organized 𝐷𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 Loctite expert training program on today and tomorrow for all students of PCCoE and research delegates. I appeal all participants to participate in the training and get certified on adhesive technologies. I acknowledge the efforts of the entire organizing team for putting their tireless efforts for planning and execution of 𝐈𝐀𝐂𝐄 conference. I wish all conference delegates, special invitees, speakers, session chairs to have a wonderful and fruitful stay on our campus. Let's make this conclave memorable and with the major takeaways. Have a nice day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind address. Moving further, I now request Dr. Girish Desai, the Executive Director of PCET, to extend his heartfelt greetings and wishes to the gathering. So please.
Good morning all. Respected dignitaries on the dais, all the participants for this international conference. I welcome you all on behalf of Pimpri Chinchwad Education Trust. I am especially thankful to Dr. Ramakrishna sir, Dr. Padmanabhan sir, Dr. Dang sir, Dr. Patil for spending their valuable time and giving and other respected speakers also for giving their valuable time and giving input to this specific conference. PCET established in 1990, giving 32 years quality education service to the society. We are into polytechnic, engineering, management, architecture. Of that KG to PhD, we are serving from last 32 years quality education. All institutes almost are NBA and NAC accredited and most preferred institute for taking admission in Maharashtra and across the country. We are coming with a private university also, sir. That is a 18-kilometer distance from this place on a old Bonepave highway. The name of the university, proposed university is Pimpri Chinchwad University, and we are coming with many other schools in multidisciplinary area, that's arts, commerce, and other along with our engineering management. And definitely we are looking for many international ties, many international national inputs in the area for the existing institute as well as the proposed institutes. So my best wishes to all the participants who attended this. Have a wonderful stay here for 2 days, and thank you on behalf of Pimpri Chinchwad Education Trust. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for enlightening us. Now, taking the program ahead, may I now request all the dignitaries to come forward for the releasing the souvenir of the conference proceeding. Thank you everyone. Our PCCoE team is like a painting, and our Deputy Director is the paintbrush who beautifully blends the technical and the contemporary ways in creating a holistic approach for the development of our institute. I now request Dr. N.B. Chopde sir, Deputy Director, PCCoE, to introduce to us our Honorable Chief Guest of today, Dr. Sriram Ramakrishna. Please, sir.
Good morning. It is my proud privilege to introduce our chief guest for today's function, today's two international conferences, ICCUBEA 22 and IMS 22. Professor Sriram Ramakrishna. I welcome sir. He is a professor at National University of Singapore. National University of Singapore is the top 5 best global university for engineering education. Professor Ramakrishna is an expert and a man known for material science and cross-field category research. As far as his research matrix outcomes are concerned, you all are aware for which this conference is meant for. So the terminologies are H index 174, I-10 index 1242, and citations referred 1,44,000. So it is a great recognition and outcome. For the first time I am referring these figures for a person. So it is really a globe level. Sir, we welcome to the conference, and really it is our proud privilege we have for this conference. Other accolades for this are: he is a fellow of UK Royal Academy of Engineering, fellow of Singapore Academy of Engineering, Asian Academy of Engineering and Technology. Many things are there. I will be highlighting very crispy and few things. He is a elected fellow for American Association of Advancement and Science. Again a fellow of Institute of Medical and Biological Engineering, International University of Biomedical Science and Engineering. Prominently, he is the founder member of Plastic Recycling Association of Singapore, which is a global requirement, recycling of the plastic, and he is the man behind initiating that school. As far as education is concerned, he is an alumnus of IIT Madras, and he completed his PhD from University of Cambridge, UK. Many awards are there in his credit. Few I will be highlighting. He is a recipient of Springer Nature China New Development Award, Distinguished Researcher Award, Asian Outstanding Engineering Award, and many more. The list is very big. As far as his specialty, he is the man behind this material science and electrospinning and nanofibers. This is the special mention for his specialization, and he is the man again to initiate many schools and courses to promote the nanotechnology courses in Singapore and in India also. He holds many responsible positions across the globe. Few I will be highlighting here. One is he was Vice President of National University of Singapore, Dean Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Director, National University of Singapore Enterprise and Industrial Liaison Officer, International Relation Officer, Biology Engineering. He is the co-founder of NUS, Nanoscience and Nanotechnology Institute. As far as other dimensions of his personality is concerned, he has written books, and those are very popular. One is Changing Face of Innovation. It is very well accepted by the community. And second book is on circular economy. So both the topics are very interested amongst the researcher and academician as well. Other aspect of his personality, he is a editor, chief editor for very prestigious journal. It is the Springer Nature Journal on Material Science and Circular Economy. And another is Elsevier Journal of Circular Economy. And many others are there, but I am highlighting crisply. He is also the editor, Encyclopedia of Green Materials, which is again a need of the hour to save the green earth and to support this green mission. He was also a member World Bank Advisory Group for India Education, specifically on NEP platform to promote. And he has also worked on very prestigious platform for drafting a UNESCO report, and that report is Knowledge-Driven Actions, Transforming Higher Education for Global Sustainability. So these are few of the highlights. The accolades and outcomes are very big, and I again welcome Sir for this conference, and specifically in Cultural and IT Hub of Pune. So we will expect you again in future for many interactions. Welcome, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind introduction. Now, without much ado, it's my pleasure to call upon Dr. Sriram Ramakrishna, sir, for his kind address. Sir, please. I would like to request all the dignitaries to please be off the dais.
Leaders of PCET, leaders of PCCoE, conference chairs, all the invited guests, participants of conference. A very good morning to all of you. It feels very nice after 2 years of COVID-19 effects. I could not see such a large gathering in the last 2 years. I'm very happy and delighted to be here, to be with you. Also, as I was introduced and welcomed warmly to Pune, a pleasant Pune. Thank you so much. In the beginning, AICT chairman, my good friend, Dr. Anil Shashrude, my other good friend sitting here, Dr. Dinesh Amanekar, plus Mr. Desai. If you look at those comments, there are 3 important aspects. One is interdisciplinarity. Second is internationalization. Third is innovation. Right. So I have to innovate, right? They already said you must innovate. So I taken the opportunity. I looked at the program. They said, you're going to give a guest of honor talk. They didn't say a speech or the address. So I'm going to use the word talk, and I'm innovating dual speech. Normally the speeches are given in a monologue, but I want to change that to the slides. Is that okay? Good morning. Very nice. Okay, so I'm going to innovate further. Using these slides, I'm describing basically Singapore, our university, our thought processes, but link it to these conference themes. We have 2 conferences attended by close to 600 people. I think one is called IQA, other one is IMACE. I'd like to congratulate both the conference organizers as well as Dr. Kulkarni, whom I know from past interactions. Allow me about 20 minutes. I will take you to the slides and I will comment on the slides. Can you all see the slides at the back? Okay. Well, that's a different speech. You like, I can give that speech too. While they're switching my presentation, I'll just tell you a small story. A child asked the parents, what would you want me to be in the future? It's a typical answer. Most parents nowadays, they say, do whatever you want, but I just want you to be happy. Right? And that single word happiness permeates almost every culture, whether you are in India, whether you are in UK, whether USA, China, Vietnam, or any place in the world. But what is more interesting is, even for us to understand happiness, themes of this conference, like computing, advances like AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, virtual reality, as well as sensors that are designed by mechanical electrical systems, we are now able to more or less read your thoughts. Of course, you can read my thoughts too. And we can communicate much better and helping each other to be a lot more, find ways to be more happy. So meanwhile, okay, I'll keep my story running by the time I find the slides. So let me ask you a question. What do you understand by happiness? I know you're already thinking, is this a technical conference or is it some feel-good conference? But the reason I ask that question is, in our languages, we use a lot of qualitative terms. Science and engineering nowadays being advanced to decode these qualitative words in our language, make it quantitative. That's how you find the advances like big data analytics, which is helping you to interpret what we want to do. For example, all our mobile phones, digital communications are enabled by these advanced computing, communication, control systems, which are essentially based on big data. And then with that, they're actually interpreting qualitative aspects into quantitative. And that same aspect is also now going towards research performance and evaluation. When I was introduced, you all clapped as well, and I felt very good too. And that's about bibliometrics, H-index, citations, I-10 index, and so on. All these indexes did not exist when I was doing PhD. You want to make a guess when I did PhD? How many years ago? 10 years? 20 years? 30 years? 50 years? 100 years? Okay, you're all awake, you're not sleeping, switched off. Good. If you said 100 years, I'll be wondering, how is that possible for me? The oldest person I met in India, 112 years old, he's near Bangalore. There was a time I'm supposed to give a speech on how to live beyond 100 years. I do research on a wide number of areas, which is what we call interdisciplinary. So in that reason, I actually went and met him to find the secret of his living up to 110. You know what he said? Well, the same word, keyword is happiness. And he said most people are very busy searching for happiness. All they're going to get is short bursts of enjoyment. The best way is keep yourself completely busy. You want to call it hard work? Fine. You want to call it passion? Fine too. You want to call that giving back to the society? That's fine too. Or you want to call that changing the world? It's the language you choose. Fundamentally, you are keeping yourself busy. Why? Between our 2 years, every minute, about 10 thoughts are running. So if you want to keep us settled, we're always busy actually, but we are busy in a chaotic way. So if we can focus, we feel ourselves absorbed, and then we feel a lot more under control, and you feel a better way of feeling happiness. So basically, he said, all I do is just keep working. That was the motto of his institution, and I felt that was a very good one. Yeah. They said it is done, so we will. So I'll keep building on that one. So I still believe that is a good idea. Reason is, when 10 thoughts per minute, thousands of thoughts in a day that are running in our mind, and with the current way of living, it's quite challenging for almost anybody to have a quiet mind, which is necessary for you to be in full control. Some people do meditation, some people do other things, some people take medicine. The best is, my view, you can access your mind through the thoughts. When I'm talking to you, it's basically words. Words are nothing but thoughts. And if you're listening, you're basically paying attention. But you can also access your own mind. Yes, we got the slides now. Yeah, the last. The first slide. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. Okay, so I can cut short the story and then get to the speech. Do you want me to continue the speech or cut short, continue the story? Because conference guys are worried, this guy is going to take the whole day. We have a lot of other speakers, right? And other speakers also feel they have to give their talk because they prepare very well. By now you realize I actually given thousands of lectures around the world. Not one or two. I must have given thousands of lectures. I don't go back and start thinking this guy is 100 years or 200 years old. Don't. Yeah. This is a control conference, so we're trying to make sure the right files come in. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, very good. Okay. Okay, no, listen, I just say, can I say this? Go back. Okay, I gave myself the title for the keynote, which is basically Drivers of Mindset and Economic Transformation. Because given you have two conferences as a combined keynote, there is no way I can talk about all my work related to those things, but it's easier I actually address and relate to you through this theme. So next one. Yeah. Well, basically like Pune, I also live in a beautiful country, so which is called Singapore. And that's Singapore, how it looks like this year. And if you ever want to make a holiday, add that to your bucket list. It's a nice place. So why I show this picture is Singapore, along with Seoul and a few other cities in the world, one of the smartest cities on the planet. And a city cannot be smartest unless you have a high quality broadband, high speed networks, you have IoT, lots of sensors, big data analytics, artificial intelligence, which is essentially we are test-bedding all those technologies to make this city of 5 million people a smart city. And that's how I say 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐄 conference is about that. These are the technologies. So, in fact, now they have a completely three-dimensional virtual reality images, not only image, virtual reality version of Singapore. You can find that in Metaverse on Facebook. And there is also marketing people in the Metaverse telling you, it's a tourism. So they actually promote, please come to Singapore, using these advanced technologies. Next one, please. So we do quite a bit of good marketing. You can see from the way I show my slides and some excitement. Just as he introduced me how beautiful Pune is, right? Similar. So people do actually visit, lots of celebrities to the Singapore. That's a beautiful place. Interesting part is, sorry, previous one. Yeah. You have this lady standing on a bridge between trees. That bridge, those trees, everything is artificial. And they're all actually on a reclaimed land. So it used to be sea. It was completely filled. So you would understand from construction background. So you fill the sea and you make billions of dollars, basically. So you put the sand and you fill it, then you build beautiful dreams, and then there you are. The point I would like to say is 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐿's conference is about civil engineering, is about mechanical engineering. One important aspect of civil engineering is sedimentation engineering, solid waste management. Here you go, an example of that. Next one. So, I'm good in promoting, right? So, if you're still not convinced in about Singapore, it's a beautiful cruise shapes and all that. And it looks very nice and iconic. Next one, just click once. I had one more small insert which says the most rich people on the planet live where? Singapore. Per capita millionaires, the highest in the world is in Singapore. So I had that insert, but that was missing. But you can believe me, that's true. The next one. Next one. Yes. So this is, you remember, the chairman of 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂 said their focus is on sustainability and circular economy. This is a floating wetlands. Floating wetlands. So the parks are created. People walk, they enjoy their life. It's a floating wetlands. To manage the raising sea levels because of climate change. Also to take care of millions of tons of solid waste that are generated every day by 5 million people. So you need to deal with that to make the planet livable places clean and safe. So this is the most advanced technologies you can think of in civil engineering. So of course that's our Prime Minister. He says that we should always think 50 years ahead. Actually, I look at lots of young people. I do think if you have 50 years of future planning, you could do a lot more things better, rather than thinking only next 1 year or 5 years. More or less, your working life is going to be 50 years from now, if you are an undergraduate student. So you think of 50 years. Then what we call life cycle thinking, you look back, you get a lot more opportunities. Okay? Right below there, there's an automated wave of future is here. What it means is automation and robotics. Singapore has the highest density of industrial robots in the world, highest density of industrial robots. Okay. The next one, please. So this I'm basically saying, the focus is, there are two keywords, internationalization and innovation, which is exactly what the leaders of your education trust, he was talking about internationalization, and then an interest with the others, the talking innovation. Same thing. We also, as a country, plan and focus on transformation of all industries to the innovation and internationalization. Next one. So that's about Singapore. Now, coming to a university where I work. It's called National University of Singapore. So that's where I work. It's also, again, a beautiful place. The next one. Okay. So we are ranked among the top 10 universities in the world. To give an idea, there are 20,000 universities. So in Asia, there are 10,000 universities. We're number one in Asia. So when you are setting up the university, your goal is beat us in 50 years or maybe 20 years from now. And he said yes, so hard work for all of you. Whoever is working in the institution. Right. But we could do it because we did that in over 25 years. And it is possible. I'm also helping actually the government of Nepal building a university with an aim to become a world-class institution. So we're actually building it now in Nepal. So the benefit of that is, on the right side, if you're a graduate of our university, you can actually go to UK without a visa. You can get a job there. Because you're in the top 50 universities in the world. So that's the benefit of why you need to have the visibility. So UK government relaxed the rules. If you're from top 50 universities, welcome. Next one, please. Okay, these are just details, but these, how do you get this, the top ranking in the world? One indicator is highly cited researchers at your institution. At our university, we have 32 scientists. So, give you a perspective, our university has 50,000 students, 3,000 faculty members. So that's the size for you. And 32 of them are most highly cited in the world. So that helps you to get the brandings. Next one. We produce 11,000 papers a year, this university. And there's lots of research institutes. Almost every department is deeply involved in research. So in other words, ubiquitous research is expected. So a conference like this, 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐄 or 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂, is enabling you to think about ideas from others and innovate in your own way. That's basic. Next one. So I keep reminding you, in case you forget, I keep putting my photo there so that you'll never forget me, right? So I always put one photo there. Anyway, it's just to kind of make the, I said, I want to innovate the keynote speech, so obviously it's not a monologue. So that's me. Recently I received a long service medal from the government. So you see I have a medal there. So that tells you I'm more than 150 years old, right? You still not believing, it's okay. The other side is, sorry. So we're actually top 10 in the world in 16 subjects. So lots of subjects where we are actually top 10 in the world. Next one, please. So we also have a software in this university. It helps each student identify the skills gap. So they can figure out which skills they're kind of missing, go and pick up that skills, and then you become more employable. So that's what we did. The next one. Okay, So you'll be completely bored. This guy is talking in India, he keeps talking about Singapore. So okay, don't worry, I'll talk about India too. So Indian Ambassador, High Commissioner to Singapore, he wrote an article on the 75th anniversary of India. So it's released. And it's a beautiful article. So he said, India progressed significantly by leaps and bounds. On the other side, it's a bit difficult for you to see, but he basically said exactly the conference topics, which is basically digitalization, automation, and so on, would be the future growth engines of India. That's what I highlighted. You have a copy of my slides, so you can actually check it later. Next one, please. So just to substantiate what he said, I looked at the numbers. So on the right side, it shows from 1950 to now GDP. And the other one is in terms of purchasing power parity. If you look at those graphs, one thing is very obvious. You are a lucky generation, basically, right? So you are already smiling, you're making me jealous, right? No, that's okay. So the whole idea of this is, you are actually in a very fortunate situation where the country progresses to a level, there is reasonable infrastructure, reasonable opportunities. So if you now can leverage them and do something better, you're only going to make yourself happy. You remember I was talking about happiness? Exactly. So that is exactly what happened in Singapore. So, next one. Okay, so when people are happy, or at least in a reasonable situation, an outcome is you live longer. Basically, there's enough medicine, medical care. So, if you're born in 1951 in India, expected lifespan is about 40 years. But if you're born 2014, your expected lifespan is 70 years, right? So, I was born in India. I'm 150 years old. When do you think I'm born? I'm not born yet, right? Because if you go by 2014, 2018, that's only 70 years. I'm 150. That means I must be born in 2025, right? I know that already they're thinking this guy is gone lunatic. No, I'm basically getting you to hook on to the idea that lifespan depends on the general health care. Also, how you manage your stress. I can go into the detail, but I won't go into the details. Relation between the stress and the way your heart and mind functions, and eventually your health. Next one, please. Okay, so again, it's a good story, growth story. I don't know his name, but if I had to ask Dr. 𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐿𝐿, when you went to the university, how many universities are there in India? They're tiny, few. But right now it's many. And now, Mr. Desai said next year he's going to have one more university, right? So I think if you go that way, there's a lot more opportunities in India for people. So that's the indication of this. But look at the left side, that's an India map. It says the highest density of startups, technology startups, are in this region, Maharashtra. Right? So obviously, again, that's one of the themes. They're talking about education, innovation, opportunities to the startups and technology stuff. So apparently Maharashtra seems to have the highest, Gujarat as well as other states. Next one, please. So this is our research conference. So I really want to highlight to you that India actually doesn't spend so much money on research, but performance seems to be good. If you look at the far right, most number of highly cited papers, India is ranked number 7, which is quite good. So what it means is you're all doing some kind of jugaad, right? In a positive way. So, because you can't publish an highly cited paper unless that gets through the peer review process and accepted. And other things is good, otherwise you won't get the citation. So it's a positive way. Okay, so it's all about everything else. Question is at the individual level, what does it mean to you or to me? So what drives our mindset is cost of living, mental health and well-being. That's why I keep talking about happiness and enjoyment and all that. So we can't get away from that. And third one is evolving values. So one could describe the current and future generations, I would say enlightened selfishness. I don't want to tell you they're selfish. Every human being is selfish. Every living being is selfish. There's no question about it. Otherwise, the living has no meaning because you're selfish. To live, you actually absorb energy. That itself makes you selfish. So let's set the selfishness outside. It's about enlightened self-interest which drives people. So these are the three drivers for all the things that are involved. Next one. So now I basically give you the evidence. The cost of living is going up because you see the GDP of countries, Asia, the GDP level has gone up compared to European countries in the last 100 years. So there's a lot more money moving around. It doesn't mean everybody is equal. Some people have more than others, so but fundamentally cost of living is going up. So that drives your good behavior. Second one. Next one. So this is just an evidence that I don't speak just like that. I look for lots of evidences. I'm a scientist, right? So the first thing we do the literature search. So that's a literature search. So it tells me India, Singapore, all other countries, how the cost of living is going up. So it's real. Next one. Then there's other issue is we are highly connected, but at the same time, it's very paradoxical. Most people are actually lonely. They're not alone, but they're lonely. And that's causing lots of mental stress around the world. And that's the reason my initial part was figure out your own way to be happy. Otherwise, loneliness can be bad. So drivers of economic transformation. Previously the mindset, this is the economic transformation. Healthcare, okay, there are many sectors, but I picked 3 sectors for India. I believe these would be the growth areas in India. One is healthcare. Classically, it's COVID-19, you've seen how much important it is, the healthcare, and that will go up. So if you're doing your computer science, engineering research, mechanical engineering, civil engineering related, but if you can relate to the healthcare sector, that would be nice. Second one is sustainability. Third one is digitalization. Again, all these 3 things are not new to India. India is very strong in digitalization. India actually has been practicing sustainable circular economy. That's part of the culture for a long time. And then healthcare. There are indigenous medicines like Ayurveda as well as others. So you have Western medicine as well. Next one. So the question is, which kind of healthcare do you want to address? These are the healthcare burden in countries, what we call lifestyle diseases. So certainly in India, lifestyle-related diseases will be huge and require all those whatever topics you are researching. You will need all of those advancements. Next one. I talked about sustainability. To give you an idea, this is a carbon neutral pledges by countries around the world. India said 2070, Singapore said 2050, so is China, US, European countries. So this commitment is driving billions and billions of dollars now. That's why I showed you the floating wetlands. That's our way of managing carbon emissions. We need to, as a country, if you want to reduce carbon emissions, you got to deal with that. So you need a better civil engineering, mechanical engineering, computer science, everything. I give an example. All of you have mobile phones, all of you laptops. You're busy communicating how boring this talk is. You're writing to somebody, right? It's okay. But how are you writing? How are you sending the message? That information is actually stored somewhere. That's what we call data centers. Data centers takes lots of energy. They literally takes lots of energy. So we are actually building most advanced data center in Singapore with Meta or Facebook. I'm one of the principal investigators. And we are designing the best data center, what we call PUE ratio 1.1. Currently it is 1.4 if you are into that area. So pushing down to 1.1 because we need to reduce the carbon footprint, carbon emissions. That's it. So now you see the digitalization linked to sustainability also. And to the healthcare. If the pollution is too much, obviously there will be healthcare issues. So all interrelated. So I know there are international audience. You can pick your own country. I'm sure it is there. If not, let me know. I'll add that number too. Because most countries announced that, more than 120 countries announced that. Next one, please. To achieve that, there is another part is the last 100 years, humans are consuming a lot. Consumption leads to solid waste generation. And this solid waste has two impacts. It accumulates and actually pollutes the soil, water, air. At the same time, it is linked to the carbon emissions. So it's important for the countries as well as cities to be zero waste. While driving here, I saw some apartments they're selling. They said, this is a zero waste apartments. I saw that one. I don't know, is it, I don't know, your brand or somebody's brand, but essentially I saw that one. Yeah, well, that's good. They're basically selling the whole, buildings there saying zero waste. That requires a lot of good technologies. And the point is that's linked to carbon emissions, also linked to pollution. In other words, sustainability. Next one, please. Okay, I'm just going to quickly go through. This is basically the digitalization is here. That's not going to go away. So obviously it's good news for India because India has lots of people involved in digitalization of the world. So it's a positive thing for India because that's not going to go away as an industry in the world. Next one. So since I talked about transformation and money making, some people think this guy is a very capitalist in mind. No. Basically, if you take 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which every country wants progress, that cover from poverty to the income gaps and gender gaps and whatnot, 17 Sustainable Development Goals, you can only enable them progress if you have bonds on digitalization, healthcare, sustainability. So that's basically I mapped it. This is the article I wrote for the UN. So that's the next one. So I know in India, because I also advise through the World Bank, in endowment, as well as I advise some of the institutions here, I do know that we have a little bit old style image about researchers. If I'm not the guest of honor, if I'm walking here, I'm sure you won't think this guy is a researcher, right? Because I don't look like a researcher, right? Typically, long hair, grumpy, no smile, serious, but I don't do any of those things. So mostly you'll make me feel this guy is not a researcher, but I'm reasonably a researcher. I think we need to change our mindset to the right side. Researchers in India should be seen as peacocks, not as thou. Why not? Anyway, I'll leave it to you for your thoughts. Next one, please. Yeah. So this is my last slide. All this means better living for all the humanity. That's encoded or captured in the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which basically underscores the focus of these two conferences, PCCoE as well as the PCET, what you want to aspire. And I'm very sure that you will progress, and I wish you all the best. And thank you for listening to my innovative GOH talk. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for enlightening us. And we are extremely sorry for the inconvenience caused due to technical problems. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, we come to an end of our inaugural ceremony of the 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐄𝐫𝐴 and 𝐈𝐪ES 2022. Now, all the dignitaries are requested to be on the dais. Now, I would like to request Dr. Varsha Harpale, Associate Professor, Electronics and Telecommunication Department, and the Technical Program Committee Head of 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐄𝐫𝐴 2022, to propose the vote of thanks. Ma'am, please.
Very good morning. All the dignitaries on the dais, all the authors, all international and national guests to the session, all faculty friends and their student friends. A very good morning. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this particular occasion. And I, on behalf of Pimpri Chinchwad College of Engineering and Team International Conference 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐄 2022 and 𝐈𝐪ES 2022, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all, to our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Sriram Ramakrishna, for your words, kind words, and exploring Singapore and technical things that is going on internationally. Thank you, sir. So, we would like to thank our next Chief Guest of Honor, Dr. Anil D. Sahasrabudhe, sir, Chairman of AICT India. So we are very thankful to him for gracing this occasion and his valuable time and words and encouragement that what we receive. And we are sure that we will put efforts for for improving this particular, for consistent efforts in this things. So we express our gratitude towards all international and national dignitaries who are present in this conference and gracing this occasion. So further, we are grateful to our technical co-sponsor 𝐈EEE Pune section, then our platinum sponsor Capgemini, Loctite, and our gold sponsor Savi Infra, and other supporters like IST, SA India, and some bronze sponsors. So thank you, Mr. 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐄𝐫𝐴 sir, for sparing your time as IEEE representative sections for this particular event. Words are not enough actually to thank our PCET Trust for consistently supporting us, encouraging us to arrange this kind of research feast and research initiative. So thank you, Mr. Narendraji Lange sir, as a representative to representative PCET. Thank you, Dr. Girish Desai sir, Executive Director PCET. I must thank our beloved Principal sir, Director sir, Dr. G.N. Kulkarni sir, for his guidance throughout the planning and his encouragement for this kind of initiative. We are also grateful to our Deputy Director sir, Dr. 𝐿𝐴𝐴𝐂𝐄 sir, for his constant support and guidance. We are thankful to deans, HODs, and all senior faculty members for consistently supporting this particular conference and all the efforts that we have. We are thankful to our principals of PCET's group of colleges present and being present here and gracing this occasion. We are very thankful to them. We thank Dr. Dinesh Amalekar sir for supporting this conference since the beginning. So thank you sir for putting your effort. An event like this cannot happen overnight, and the wheel starts rolling weeks ago. It requires planning and bird's eye for details, so we have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues of PCCoE who knows their job and they are result oriented. All the efforts that they have put up, they are result oriented. So thank you all organizing committee members of 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐄 2022 and 𝐈𝐻𝑆 2022. We appreciate the huge response received by researchers to both the conferences, and we are thankful to all authors presenting their papers, their research works, offline and online. So our strength, that is our volunteers, our student friends, without their supports, this occasion or this event would have not been successful. So thank you dear volunteers for supporting this event. Now with this, I would like to say one thing, that is let's spread the positivity. Let's deliver the knowledge that what we have, and this can be possible, and the event can be smoothened with few instructions that are to be passed on to have that during these 2 days. So let me take the opportunity to give few guidelines to the authors, to the organizing members, so that we could able to complete this event successfully. So inaugural function. So is followed by session 1. All the authors who are there under this session 1 are requested to follow the instruction given by your session arrangement team that will help them to execute their presentation very well. So to understand the technology around these 3 international, around the world, the 3 international plenary talks that are arranged, and we are very thankful to these international dignitaries for for sparing their time and their knowledge to our team. So I would like to request all the authors, all faculty members and all the guests to be present in the seminar hall, 5th floor mechanical building at 2 p.m. for attending this plenary session. That will be there, 3 sessions will be succeeded, will be there scheduled in a serial fashion. So next, I would like to also welcome you all for tomorrow's things like technical keynotes. We have 2 technical keynotes under the IMS and 2 technical keynotes under 𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐄 arranged under LRDC and a seminar hall respectively. So you are requested to join there 10:45, and for plenary session and keynote speaker you are requested to join the hall venue 15 minutes ahead of the time. So all are requested. The final request from our side is to maintain the decorum of the event and all the arrangement. Feel free to contact our help desk, our organizing members, and enjoy your day, 2-day stay at our campus. So happy learning and enjoy 2-day stay at our PCCoE. Thank you.
Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress, and working together is success. With this note, I would like to thank all the respected dignitaries on the dais, all the authors, faculty members and students for being with us. And I declare the closure of this inaugural program. Thank you for being with us.